if you lack conviction in business, you're pretty screwed, and it's one of the most undervalued things in business, in my opinion. Okay, so as an online fitness coach, if you want to scale, um, you have to have confidence and conviction in what you do on a daily basis. So let's play this out. Okay, I hate DM setting. I hate making content. Okay, what if you continue to tell yourself that on a weekly basis or a daily basis? You have low conviction. When you have low conviction, realistically, the actions that you are going to put into the business on a daily basis is going to be piss poor. Okay, so if I play this out and I have two versions of you, I have one with high conviction and one with low conviction. Okay, the one with low conviction goes into a DM setting framework and messages people, and they're going into the DM setting framework almost telling themselves that this isn't going to work. Versus someone with high conviction where they go into a DM setting framework like I'm basically shooting my shot. If it works, it works. Okay. I know if I send as many DMs as humanly possible, like I'm gonna get clients. Okay, it might not be this person, but it's gonna be someone. Okay, and you can extrapolate this, by the way. This is not just a DM situation. This could be an Instagram content. This could be like the whole thing you have in your head where I'm not very techie. You could even go into an environment setting as well. If you consistently tell yourself that I hate the UK, you're gonna hate the UK, and what most people do is they tell themselves I hate the UK so much that they leave, and then they realize that the UK wasn't the problem. It was a mindset thing. Okay, um, but we'll bring it back to fitness just really quick, and we'll bring it back to specifically like your business. Okay, so what I personally like to do with a lot of my one-to-one clients is I do something called a conviction flowchart. Okay, so the conviction flowchart, if I can speak, is effectively a series of mindset shifts that allows the person to have come to their flowchart with low conviction and end with high conviction. Okay, so I'm just going to try and work through this and pop it up on the screen. But effectively, you start the conviction flowchart in a negative mindset. Okay, so should we do content? Let's do content. Okay, so um, I hate making content. Okay, that's a very, very atypical one. Okay, so I hate recording content like this, for example. I hate doing this thing. Okay, so if I consistently tell myself that I hate doing this thing, the quality of vlog, video, or short form content is going to be off. So I can't, if I want to grow a business, I can't be in a low state of conviction the whole time. Otherwise, my results are going to be crap. Now, one of the biggest things that I see when someone comes to me, especially on an onboarding call, is I'm doing everything in the world, but it's not working. One of the first things I look at is not quality of work, it's how do they feel from a conviction standpoint. Like, what are they doing on a daily basis, and how do they feel about it? Okay, so what are you doing? Oh, I'm DM setting. Okay, cool. How do you feel about it? I hate it. Right. Let's start with conviction. Okay, so we work through the conviction flowchart pretty ASAP. Okay, we'll bring it back to content. So the conviction flowchart, realistically, step one, I hate something. Step two, challenge the belief. Why do you actually hate it? Okay, is it the task or is it the belief about the task? Okay, so we challenge that head on. Step three is we're reframing. Why can't I speak? Reframing the meaning. Okay, so if we go towards DMing or content, it's not I'm DMing slash making content. It's I'm starting conversations and creating opportunities for my business. So if you look at like why we actually functionally outreach to people and why we make content, it's not just to arbitrarily tick a box and be like that's good enough for the business. It's like we're actually actively trying to sell to people, right? And when you understand the why behind it, you then have high conviction. Okay. Um, Step four is to focus on the outcome and not the task. So if you actively hate the thing, understand from a DM setting standpoint, it's the task that allows for the outcome. So DM setting, um, it creates leads, clients, impact, and ultimately income. Okay, so when you're DM setting, Stop thinking, I hate DM setting. Start thinking, by doing this, it's going to create income. Okay? And every single DM that you send, realistically, is an ask for income. So when you align yourself with that, you then have high conviction. Okay? And we can do this with content as well. So I hate making content, reframe. Why do we make content? Is to build trust, to build authority within our social media platform, or just platform in general, or for our business, which then creates sales, which then creates freedom. So why am I making content right now? I'm not making content to tick a box. I'm truthfully making content so I build trust, authority, and ultimately it creates sales within my business. If you want to scale with TCT, there is a link below. Fill it out, book in a call with a member of the team, and we'll see if we can help you scale your fitness business. Truthfully, I'm making content to get seen by other people so I can CTA to then create sales. If you look at why we make content and why we actually DM set, it's not just to, again, just to do that task, okay? It is to create income and freedom, right? So reframe why we're actually doing it, okay? So, and truthfully, it works. Like, it does work. Those two tasks do work. It's just how you feel about the task, your intent, okay? Like, how do you feel about it? If you go in there with low intent or low conviction, you're going to come away with a shit outcome. And then ultimately, then skill set, right? Quality, right? Because if you have someone who is extremely good at making content, they're probably going to create more sales within their business versus someone who's not very good. Okay, so step 6 in this whole framework is, or step 5, sorry. Step 5 is to connect with a bigger vision. So every single DM or piece of content that I create gets me closer towards my goal. Okay, so when you think of it like that, every single DM is like a stepping stone to financial freedom, to just time freedom, location freedom, whatever. Okay, so you have to think about it like that, which then creates high conviction. Okay, but also understand, if you give yourself a, this is not optional, this is the price of admission. So you cannot just simply do nothing and grow a fitness business. You have to do that thing. So you have to get over the fact that you have to do stuff that you hate in order to create a life that you love. You have to do that. Everyone has to do it. Everyone does it. I do it. Okay. If you think that I love doing everything within my business on a day-to-day basis, you'd be fucking wrong. Okay, because I don't. However, I tell myself, by doing this task, it's allowing me to do something that I love. Having time back, having money, right? That's kind of how you have to reframe the whole mindset. Okay, and if I avoid doing the task, then I avoid getting towards my goal, right? So then you can reframe the whole low conviction, high conviction. Okay, and step 7 ultimately on here is to take action with the conviction and actually show it with energy and belief by sending this DM. Like, a high conviction DM versus a low conviction DM is the difference between a no sale and a sale, genuinely. Okay, so then you go and action this new mindset, and you can do this in all areas of your business, by the way, because you tell yourself things all the time that just simply aren't true. DM setting doesn't work. Does it? Does it not work? I think it does work. It's just skill set and mindset. Okay, so again, you can do this in all areas of your whole entire business. Okay, you can do this in service delivery, you can do this in retention, you can do this with content production, if you're crap with tech, right? Sales, I'm not very good at sales calls, right? So you can do this with everything within your business, and it will 100% improve your business if you turn up with high conviction versus low conviction. Okay, and it's something that rarely gets spoken about, but I hope it helps.